We have seen fierce rivalries in different sports through the years. None of them come close to the rivalry between Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. One which began almost 2 decades ago. How did that rivalry even start? When Ronaldo moved to Spain and they started playing in the same league? No, certainly not. It started before then, and today we'll be talking about the match that launched the greatest rivalry in sports history. But let's dial back a little. You see, in 2004-2005, the kings of football were Ronaldinho, Thierry Henry, Zinedine Zidane, Luis Figo, Kaká, David Beckham, and the likes. They were influential, skillful, and very entertaining. But certain kids were rising pretty fast. Their names, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo went to Euro 2004 on home soil, scored 2 goals, and helped Portugal reach the final of a major tournament for the first time in their history. While Lionel Messi went to the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in 2005 and won the trophy for Argentina. These 2 guys were definitely up there as ones to watch for the future, and they were gaining ground very quickly. But the match that really launched this insane rivalry we all know of now, these youngsters were playing for 2 of the best clubs in the world, and their teams were made far better because of them. They were still in their early 20s and in the early stages of their careers, but they had already become the main men in their respective teams. Ronaldo wearing the cherished number 7 shirt for United, and Messi wearing the heavy number 10 for Barcelona. But that was not even the first time they met. They faced off in the semi-final of the same competition the previous season, and it was very keenly contested. Sparks did fly that day and the English side came out on top. But nah, it was not the main event, it was a forerunner. What it did was that it set a precedent for what was going to be the main event the following season. You see, the 2008 to 2009 Champions League season went pretty well for Barcelona and United. They both won their groups, and Barcelona went on to beat Lyon, Bayern Munich and Chelsea in the knockout stages to reach the final, while Man United had to get past Inter Milan, Porto and Arsenal. As far as many were concerned, that final was a match between the 2 best teams on the planet. Not just because they had gotten to the final, but because of their status. They played the most beautiful and most dominant football on the continent. They had both just recently been crowned champions of their respective leagues, and between them, they had won 2 of the last 3 Champions League titles. So yes, by all standards, these were the best of the best that Europe had to offer. But more interestingly, they had 2 guys who were the present and future of not just European football, but world football. Ronaldo had already won a Ballon d'Or, while Messi had finished in the top 3 in back-to-back seasons, and was on course to win his first that year. Ronaldo had the crown, but Messi was coming for it. Going into that final, Messi was the top scorer at the tournament, but he wasn't ready to rest on his laurels. He wanted to take the crown from Ronaldo, and he was ready to do whatever was required. But things actually did not start how he and his Barcelona teammates hoped they would. Man United put so much pressure on the Spanish giants from the very first whistle that Victor Valdés was forced to concede a throw-in just 10 seconds into the game. 1 minute in, Yaya Touré had conceded a free kick. Of course, Ronaldo stepped up and took the shot. Valdés saved, but he spilled the ball. But thankfully for them, Piqué was there to take care of the follow-up. The first 10 minutes of the game were really Ronaldo's show. Apart from the free kick, he had like 2 other attempts on goal, one from about 40 yards out and one from inside the 18-yard box. At this point, it was already looking like it was going to be a long night for Barcelona, but then Samuel Eto'o stepped up and changed the entire complexion of the game. Iniesta exchanged passes with Messi in the midfield, after which he sent the ball forward to Eto'o. The Cameroonian striker cut inside and slotted the ball into the back of the net, and just like that, Barcelona took the lead against the run of play. Ronaldo tried to quickly bring United back into it, but Piqué illegally stopped him from getting into the box and got a yellow card for it. This time, it was Ryan Giggs who stepped up to play the free kick, but he sent the ball flying over the bar. In the minutes after the goal, all we saw was Ronaldo trying to drag United back into the game on his own. A shot from distance, header from a corner, dribbles and passes. He was doing all he could. Messi saw all of that and decided to respond. He received a pass from Eto'o, cut him, and shot from 35 yards out. He came so close to making it 2 for Barcelona, but the ball was only very slightly off target. Minutes later, the Argentine went on a marauding run, and it took 3 Man United players, Vidic, Carrick and Rooney, to stop him from getting into the box. The intent from both those guys were very clear. It was the biggest game of their lives, and they wanted to have have a say. To help Ronaldo's quest, Sir Alex Ferguson made a half-time sub, bringing in Carlos Tevez for Anderson. Striker in, midfielder out. The intent was very clear for the second period. But unfortunately, that didn't do much to sway the game in United's favour, because just 3 minutes into the second half, Barcelona came close to extending their lead, but Van der Sar was forced to make a save to stop Thierry Henry. Still in the opening 5 minutes of the second half, Messi found himself on the ground in the 18-yard box and was asking for a penalty, but it was more in hope than expectation. But then, a couple minutes later, Spanish expectations were met. Iniesta was brought down at the edge of the box and they were awarded a free kick. The close-range free kick was taken by Xavi, who bent the ball around the wall, but he hit the woodwork. After this, Man United started putting some pressure on Barcelona. Rooney tried to send in some crosses, Giggs tried to create, and Ronaldo, as expected, was a threat in the box and even outside of it. But Barcelona's defense